What's up and welcome to Lunchtime in the Lab. I am glad you guys can't see me like behind the scenes dancing to my my intro music, but welcome to the number one gambling podcast for quick picks live on just YouTube today, recording for Spotify, Apple, all those podcasts, everything like that. So as we are joining in on YouTube, please do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for me as well, and we can hop into it. I got a new hat. Look at that. Oh, it's a little Apple FTW Fort Wayne repping the hood. I like it. I like my hats. Definitely like my hats. Let me get onto my screen here and we will get going. What's up? What's up, Bill? Weird day yesterday. Weird-ish, but let's get going. As always, let's pull up this beautiful graphic. You know I gotta talk about it. Beer money picks quickly. All caps, lunchtime, 25% off. Get you in there for the first month, $1 a day. Makes $30 a day. Simple math there. I think I was 3-1 yesterday. Really close to another sweep. Had a sweep 2 days ago. I'm up 17 units in college baseball right now. So, that's pretty solid. I got 4 college baseball plays planned for today. So this is actually going to be my only NBA action. I only looked at NBA just for you guys. So I hope you're feeling good about it. I hope you're happy about it. Today's Friday, 3/8. Before we get into today's plays, we'll take a look back and see what we did yesterday. We had just a 1-2 day. Unfortunately, we had that little bit of a maybe a little bit of a skid, but not really though, right? I'm pretty sure I was positive in like 9 out of the last 10 days. And then, we lost Anthony Edwards. Man, I thought that was dead. He came, left hurt, came back, left hurt, came back again, ended up scoring 44 points. So that was nice. We flew over that one. Bam at 20.5. That was that we picked that for the straight for that rollover challenge that we were trying to do, which let me know in the chat if you want to do it again. I'm cool with it. $10 is fine for me. And obviously we haven't had an 0-3 day in a while. It's about picking the right winner, I guess. He had 9 missed shots, 4 missed free throws. Couldn't buy a free throw, man. Definitely a spot where I'd probably take the bet again, but yeah, it's just rough. And then Jamal Murray needed a 3 late there at some point. The last 5 or 6 minutes, he was getting rebounds, he was getting an assist. I don't think he took a shot. Real weird passive type play. I ran a play for myself, just kind of messing around, and I put more on it than I normally do. It would have paid out $1,600, and I just needed Jamal Murray to cover that 21.5. And he didn't. So I was a little bummed with that. But luckily, the guy, my boy Jay Vandy in the Beer Money Discord, hit another nice little plus 1,500. So that basically got the money back that I would have lost. So a couple guys in there, I've been following his plays for sure. That dude's been killing it. So, but yeah, Jason says they were. Yeah, I'll pull you up here. Good picks yesterday just didn't fall our way, and sometimes that's what it is. We do our best to give you guys an analysis, but hey, you can't control like the outcome. Sometimes you just kind of catch some losers. Sometimes you don't. So we'll pick. I got one in mind here. We'll pick one of these and call it, step 1 again, and we'll keep trying to roll it over. I know you guys really enjoy it. I certainly do. I love to do that. If sometimes like on ESPN Bet, I don't really have any money on that anymore. I like to put in, a few bucks and or just use that Fanatics app. You can get promos, take that $1 that I have earned and try to flip it to 2, and then I'll try to build it up. I think it's a lot of fun to do that stuff. But without further ado, let's get into the plays here. I'll tell you too. Yeah, for sure. You don't blame the better, you blame the players. Hey, you know how many people think it's my fault that I missed 10 free throws in a game or something like that? Be like, hey, I'm not the one out there playing. But all right, anyway, before we get into the place here, guys, if you haven't hit the subscribe button for me, do that, please. Hit that like button for me, too. Try my best to turn this into something special. I would love for this to become really popular, more popular than it is. Yesterday, we streamed on Twitter and I had a lot of views from Twitter, but I'm trying to bring those Twitter people over to YouTube and everything. So I'm thinking every other day we'll do a Twitter stream on top of the YouTube here as well. But keep trying to help me grow. I really appreciate it. And then we'll hop into the plays here. I will say FanDuel's running a 25% off same game parlay. This will work for it. In fact, I plan on using that promo on all three of these plays. So if you want to parlay them today, certainly feel okay about it if you're comfortable doing that, and then running, the one straight or run them all straight, however you want to go about doing it, obviously. It's weird. My little internet popped up thing saying it was a bad connection, which is surprising because I pay way too much for internet. Here we go. First play. Going back to our guy here. We were on Kuzma the other day. There's not a whole lot of opportunities that you get to bet on Kuzma because of how bad the Wizards are. And he hooked us. We were right there, lost on the hook. That was kind of our start to when we were 9-1 winning days. I think that was one of the reasons that we had a losing day is because he hooked us. But this particular graph here that's over my shoulder is when the Wizards win. And if you look, there's only 9 bars on here. And I had to actually go to Google and type in how many games have the Wizards won this year, and guess how many they've won? It's just 9. I thought maybe it was messed up, but they really are 9-53. But when the Wizards win, he is over in 7 of 9, and you can see it's pretty comfortable. Obviously, looking all the way to the left, it looks like he was hooked on that one there as well. Recently, though, not paying attention to wins or anything like that. He is over in 5 of his last 6 games, and at home, he is over in 4 of his last 5 games. So he is one of the bright spots on the Wizards. Kuzma's always been a pretty strong scorer. Sometimes he disappears, sometimes he doesn't. The Hornets on the year are allowing the 3rd most points to power forwards in the league, and in the last 7, they are allowing the 2nd most points to that position. We also have a close spread. I think it's like -2.5 in terms of the Wizards. So, I show the graph here thinking, hey, they really should win this game over the Hornets. The Hornets are just pretty dang banged up. But it being a closer game, I think, we can kind of see, what happens with it. But and like I said, we were on, Kuz the other day. And he hooked us. So I think we got a nice little, bounce back spot, hopefully for us here coming. So first play here is going to be Kyle Kuzma. And honestly, like the second play here that I have going. So Kuzma over 22.5 is going to be the first play. The second play, I actually don't have a graph for it because it really doesn't look all that good. But it's just another, I just like this game. You don't have an opportunity, and this is where the same game parlay comes in. You don't have an opportunity to bet the Hornets or the Wizards pretty often and not worry about a blowout. I mean, you're seeing like a -10, -11 spread like all the time with them. They're generally games that I stay away from because I'm afraid of like the blowout. In this case, I don't think there's going to be a blowout, to be honest. The second play I'm going to run with is the same position on the other side. We're going to go with Miles Bridges over 22.5 points. And I know he's been kind of shaky. But it's really the same write-up as Kuz. The Wizards are just as bad to forwards as the Hornets are. And like I said, you don't get to bet these two teams very often without the fear of blowouts. And honestly, like I think this game is going to be sneaky good. You have these like role players, bench players playing as starters, getting extended minutes because of injuries, because both teams are obviously not going to, move on in the playoffs or anything like that. So both teams realistically have thrown in the towel, so to speak. I think it really could be a barn burner of a game. The Wizards play at the fastest pace in the league. They are number 1. They are the quickest team in the league. The Hornets are about 20th, but we've seen them be able to like jump into these like pace up spots and then like really be able to like soar and like take off and run with them. And obviously that probably has a lot to do with like they were one of the faster teams, and then like LaMelo Ball, I don't know if he's out for the year or what. Like I keep getting notifications that he's out, and it's like it's every day. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. Like I said, like I pay attention to too many sports to know every single injury for every single team. Although I will say, like real quick, I forgot to mention it. We were talking about beer money picks. Like I've been waiting forever for Wembanyama to be out again so I could bet Keldon Johnson, and we got that chance again. Boom, smoked it. For whatever reason, I can retain that stuff. Be like, oh, okay, like Keldon Johnson's really good when Wemby's not in. And then he smashed it again. Blueberry is really good when Maxi's not in. So on and so forth. Those little things, mention it all the time. Part of being in the Discord, obviously, I didn't. That's that hidden knowledge. The line didn't pop up because he is a bench player. So you had to wait until 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whenever it came out, I forgot, but was able to get that one out. And obviously he smashed that line. But lastly, on Bridges, last time they played, he put up 33 points against them, and that was back in November. So this team hasn't changed a whole lot. Obviously, gosh, I can't believe that was like 4 months ago. Can you guys believe, first off, that like March Madness starts, like college basketball regular season's almost over. We have conference tournaments, we have March Madness starting up. The NBA playoffs, right? The NBA regular season is getting pretty dang close. MLB starts in 20 days, guys. Did y'all realize that? 20 days the MLB starts. And I'm up 17 units betting on the kids. I can't wait to bet on the pros. But the second play is going to be Miles Bridges over 22.5 points. And then before we get into the third play, very lastly, I'll ask you guys to make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, everything like that, to do your best to help me out. Help me help you. Lastly, Clint Capella over 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I will say this is not on FanDuel as of like when I started this podcast. So I'm going to attempt to see if I can pull it up as I'm talking to you guys. But I have to wait. And if you guys are going to use that promo for the same game parlay, if you guys are interested in betting on Kuzma and Bridges in that game, his PRA is not on FanDuel yet. So we got to wait for it to pop up on FanDuel so we can use that 25% boost for it. However, it's not on there yet. Jason, I'm so glad you said that. I don't know if you're in the Discord or not, but Ty posted a little teaser type, video. I don't know if he put it on Twitter. He didn't tag me about it, but me and Ty first started talking back in the day in the old group, and then Ty left, and I always Ty the college guy, for those of you that don't know him, that's his Twitter handle. That's him, in the Discord, one of the owners of the Discord, Beer Money Picks. And we still stay in contact. Really good college bettor. He's got like 8 TVs in his basement on Saturdays watching football, and we used to bounce stuff off, and we put some parlays together even for the Canadian Football League, and me and him were tearing up the Canadian Football League. So it's so nice to be in there, together. We're going to do a little show just like I'm on StreamYard right now, just like this, have a little graphic. We'll get in here Saturday mornings, talk about, the UFL games that are going on. That's that league with The Rock, and they have like the Birmingham the Stallions, the DC Defenders, and there's, like Josh Gordon was playing in this league, AJ McCarron, who's some other people, you guys, that Vontae's Perfect or whatever, I think, like he was playing in it. Anyway, like cool stuff like that, like way off tangent. I'm about to hop back in and pull myself back in here, but it is nice now that NFL is over, college football is over. Like we're about to be rolling into the UFL, and then we have the Canadian Football League that starts in June, I think. Super nice to have football like almost year round, nowadays, but anyway, Capella over 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. This graph, no Jalen Johnson. He is over this in 8 of his last 10 without Jalen Johnson. I think he's got a knee injury, maybe an ankle, something like that. When he played Memphis already this year in this same matchup, although not quite the same matchup because I'm sure Trae Young probably played. Trae Young's obviously out right now. He had put up 33 points, rebounds, and assists combined. He is coming out of some really, really tough matchups. He just played the Magic, the Nets, the Knicks, and Cleveland. I think the Nets and back-to-back games. Now I'll say like the Nets have certainly fallen off, but their defense can still be pretty good, and they're pretty good to center. So he just went to war against these 4 teams or so that have a really good defense that are pretty tough matchups against centers. And that's where some of them miss it. And he went over in some of those games, and he missed in some of those games. So he's coming out of this battle or whatever, and now he's coming into where it's going to be easier for him. Memphis is allowing the last 7, the 7th most points to centers. So like nothing crazy, but I mean, they are susceptible to scoring to centers. Okongwu's still out. Johnson was the other guy that was grabbing boards. These rebounds for Clint Capella should be here. I mean, there's no reason that it shouldn't be grabbing boards. Jaren Jackson Jr., pretty big guy, pretty good guy over there. Foul trouble though, all the time. Guys in foul trouble all the time. So as long as we can keep Capella out of foul trouble, we should be okay, with him facing JJJ over there. And then lastly, I guess I'll note too, on his career when he's been with the Hawks. So the 4 years were 4 games that he's played on the Hawks against the Grizzlies. He is over this in 4 of 4. He has not missed since being a member of the Hawks against the Grizzlies. He's had 33, 35, 27, and 42 points, rebounds, and assists combined against the Grizzlies in his career as a member of the Atlanta Hawks. So that is our third play. So to recap here, and then I guess we can chat if chat is still in here. I got about a dozen people in here. To recap, on March 8th of Lunchtime in the Lab, we're going to ride with Kyle Kuzma over 22.5 points, Miles Bridges over 22.5 points, Clint Capella over 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And if any of you guys have a thought on which one you would like to run in terms of starting that step one again, we only got to one, unfortunately. But like somebody said in the chat, the picks were good. The players just weren't, unfortunately. I lean Capella because I think it's a great matchup, and he's got a good historical matchup, whatever, against them. Like, he's done well historically. Jalen Johnson's out, and he's over 8 and a 10. So I think it's a pretty good look for Capella. Let me know in the chat. Those of you that are in here, those of you that are subscribed, they can message and everything. If you have a lean, if you like Capella, I'm thinking about running him. But while we're chatting here, I'm going to go ahead and close it out on the podcast side, so this doesn't get too long for you guys. Once again, audio side, I mean, for those of you listening audio and you think you're missing something beforehand and afterwards, you are a hair, nothing crazy, and definitely a benefit to popping in and trying to catch it live or trying to catch it on the recorded version, all the same. But I'm going to close it out on the audio side, and then we'll wrap it up here. I think we are going to go with Capella, but Spotify, Apple, so on and so forth, listeners, I appreciate you guys just as much. Thanks so much for listening. Give me a follow at Live Joe Bets, and I will see you guys back tomorrow. Okay. I'm getting tired of doing I'd rather just do the video, but I'm pretty sure there's people that just listen. Although I am paying $20 a month to host the thing, so that would certainly save me some money. Jason says Clint. Zach says Clint. I'm feeling Clint. Unfortunately, you got to play him on DraftKings if you want him right now. If not, you got to wait for it to drop on FanDuel. I don't know why it's not on FanDuel. I don't know if there's something going on that I'm missing. But if you follow me on Twitter, I'll post it, quote unquote, officially. I've been doing that little graphic. It takes me a minute to throw that together. I just find a picture off Google, and then there's an app that clips it for you. We'll ride Clint Capella over 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. If you want to lock it in right now on DraftKings, you can. If not, wait on FanDuel, and you can do it that way. And then a reminder that, with the quote unquote 10K challenge, it's all supposed to be plus money at this point. I'm just looking for straights. I don't want a minus 140, minus 150. As long as it's a minus 120, 125, minus 130 and lower, I think that's cool. It's not about, how much, I guess. It's about just winning 10 in a row. And obviously it's been a while since I've gone 0-3. So if we pick out of our 3, we have a 33% chance each day to hit the bet. I feel like if you look at it that way, maybe. Don't know if that's accurate or not, though. So if you guys don't have anything else, though, I think I'm going to go ahead and close this out. My wife is asleep with the baby on the couch. My other son is running around being just the worst. So I told her, hey, let me get through this podcast, and I'll do whatever you want the rest of the day, which isn't true because I need to write up all these college baseball plays. But I'm going to close it out. Appreciate you guys. See you guys back tomorrow, as always. Peace.